Hello and good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are watching. Today's a good day.
What is up? Every day above ground's a good day, my friend.
I believe it. You talk a little bit about mindset stuff today, and people will tell me sometimes it's like, well, I'm not having a good day. I don't know what to be thankful for. I don't know like what's going on. I said, listen, like this morning, did you wake up? Was your heart beating? Was your lungs breathing? Like it's a good damn day. Like take advantage of it. So yeah, man, I think that's a big thing. And today we want to talk a little bit about mindset and things getting set up and geared for the holidays. Did you know that like what's the one day that has more heart attacks than any other day in the world or in the year?
It's
It's
got to be
Christmas.
Thanksgiving or Christmas.
It's Christmas.
Yeah, it
You're
has
supposed
to
to have
be.
like an amazing time and all these things like, and it's fun with the families, which I don't know. Sometimes the families might not be fun. Maybe that's where the heart attacks come from. But
Maybe.
it's everybody thinks it's going to be a good day, and then all of a sudden it's a terrible day for a lot of people. What can we do differently today to gear ourselves and get ready for these holidays? That's what we want to talk about.
Well, I think before we even dive into that, I will say when we come from a place of gratitude, good things are more likely to occur, right? So, just as a for instance, up until a year ago, I had never had a migraine headache in my life, not one, and I happened to get one on the 4th of July. And so like lights and fireworks and loud noises and all these things. And I remember I had to go home. We had a party at my in-laws and I had to go home and I'm in bed under the covers. And my wife comes in to check on me and she's like, how are you feeling? And I said, grateful. And she's like, what do you mean? And I said, there are people in this world that have a migraine headache every single day of their life. And thank God that I went, close to 40 years of my life not experiencing what one feels like. So when you come at it from that place, it's hard to feel sorry for yourself. It's hard to get down. And I just challenge you guys. It's like whatever health challenge it's happening right now, be thankful that you have an inquisitive mind, that you're researching, that you're searching for solutions, because some people just get stuck in this hamster wheel. And maybe you've been there and they never pull themselves out of it. So the fact that you're a fighter, the fact that you're on this little web chat or whatever you want to call it, just be grateful and thankful that you're moving in a direction where good things are more likely.
I'm telling you right there that little 30-second snippet can literally, like, somebody needed to hear that today, Dr. Seth,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and like that can change people's lives, their health. Again, if you think it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And so start focusing on different things. Change your thinking, and you change your future. You change everything. It's amazing to see. You think of cancer people, like how can you be totally fine, then all of a sudden you get diagnosed with cancer, and then like those people die like very quickly afterwards. What happened? What was the difference? They had it the day before and they died the week after. It was the thinking, right? And just knowing that you can fight it, that you can beat it, that your body can heal. But you got to make good decisions, or at least gooder decisions, right?
More gooder decisions for sure. Good morning, Jaylene. What are you thankful for?
Let us know. Let
Let
us
us
know.
know.
And so I'll move into the holiday stuff here. I said this to somebody the other day, and it took a little bit to get an answer. I said, how many days is Thanksgiving? How many days is Thanksgiving? Oh, is it one? How many days is Christmas? It's one. So the reality is, it's a holiday, and you're allowed to have a holiday. Hell, if you want to have my favorite thing, is called a fat kid holiday. And if you want to have a fat kid holiday on Christmas and Thanksgiving, go for it. What does that mean? It means eat whatever the hell you want. Now, the problem is tomorrow you're probably going to feel bad, and I hope that you do. I hope that you do, right? But eat what you want, enjoy it. But it's one day. It's not 6 months.
Yep. Yeah, we can't afford that backslide. We just can't. So I really challenge people to tether to your big why. So why is it that you're trying to reclaim your health? Why is it that you want to, clear your digestive system? Why is it that you want to try to figure out your hormones? What is it? And it has to be more than you, right? And what I mean by that is like, well, I don't like feeling this way, so I need to get better. I promise you, you're not going to have the mental fortitude to get where you need to get to. So like, for instance, my mother-in-law once upon a time was having some major health challenges, and my niece, her granddaughter, was just born. And so all of a sudden, these things that I've been trying to get her to do for 5, 6, 7 years wasn't happening. And then all of a sudden, when she was born, she got real. My mother-in-law got real serious, right? And so the why was, if I don't get my act together, I'm never going to be there for my grandkids. And she loves those little guys more than anything. So all of a sudden, there was that flip switch. So it goes from just dipping a toe in the water to diving in head first, right? So what is your why? Identifying what that's going to be is going to be everything to your health journey.
Yeah. Because it's, and one of these days I don't have it geared up. It would have been a perfect time to show like all my food allergies and all the stuff that I had to give up. And when I share people that, it's like, oh my God, what could you eat? What could you do? That must have been so hard. And really the reality is, and what is the saying? A man with a big enough why can overcome anyhow, right? My why was so big that it didn't make sense. It didn't matter. And Dr. Seth and I both have a great mentor of ours in what he said. And Dr. Seth, you might remember this or not, but he said like, nothing tastes as good as spending time with my family. And nothing tastes as good as being able to like just feel as amazing as we feel all the time. It's not worth the cookies, the sugar, the treats, the desserts. But I will always say and throw this in that I still eat more cookies and treats and desserts and all those things than ever before. It's just cooked differently without inflammatory things that I'm allergic to that will take me away from my mission, that will take me away from serving you, that will take me away from my kids and my family. And again, it can't be about you, because Dr. Seth, do you ever ask people, why do you want to get better? What's the number one thing they say is like, well, I want to feel better. Yeah. I want to lose weight. And I'm like, bull crap.
PG-13.
Say it again.
PG-13.
PG-13. That was 13. Yeah. But it's like, no, you don't want to feel better. You don't want to lose weight, because if you did want that, you would have already gotten it. It can't be about you. It has to be someone else.
Yep. Good stuff. Yeah. I mean, that's everything. So then if you said that Thanksgiving is just one day, if Christmas is just one day, why is this build up and the parties culminate, and you look back in January like, oh my gosh, I gained 10 pounds. I feel like absolute garbage. All my symptoms are worse than they've ever been. Like, how does that happen? What's the backslide there?
Yeah, it happens because we're creatures of habits, and we just don't want to say no. People don't know how to say no. I had a talk with somebody the other day. It's like, you know what? The only thing we talked about in working with some of our private clients, we talk about nutrition, we talk about supplementation, all the things you're supposed to do. We only talked about her saying no for 15 minutes. Learn to say no. Yeah, but my family, screw your family if they don't want you to be healthy. You know what I mean? But yeah, and I'll tell you this too. Nobody ever wants you to feel better, look better, be more successful than they are.
Be skinnier.
I don't want you to. So here, eat this with me. Eat this with me. No, say no. And be the leader, be the example that everybody else wants to be. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So what does that look like during the holidays? And I get this over and over and over again. It's like, what am I supposed to do? I'm not the one cooking. I'm not the one. Okay. So there's a couple things that can be done. And, the reality is if you just want to be bad, you're going to find excuses for whatever I come up with. So that part of it doesn't really matter. But I promise you, my wife and I, we have literally transformed our family, the way that our family eats. Obviously, we love them. We care about them. We want them around. But if you came in and you brought cupcakes from Costco or something, and you opened them up and put it on our smorgasbord, at the end of the night, no one would have had one of them. They'd be full, right? Because everybody eats the same way we do because of leadership there. So it takes time. And I assure you, people do want to be healthy, and they're going to look to your example rather than just make excuses for everything. So number one, why don't you think about hosting, right? If you host, you control the food. If you control the food, you can stay away from your food allergies. You can make sure that everything is to your standard and you don't have to worry about it. Oh my gosh, how could I ever possibly do that? This is where people get all screwed up with food. So we ask the kids what theme they want for holidays, right? And so what I mean by that is like, do you want to do a burger bar this year? Or do you want to do a taco bar? Well, either way that they pick it, those are so easy to do. This doesn't have to be this overly elaborate. And that's where people get into trouble. We don't need to cook a turkey just because it's Thanksgiving. We can do something else that's fun. Make your own traditions. I'll tell you what, my fondest memories of my childhood are, doing fondue. You know how easy fondue is? You chop up a bunch of little food, you put it in oil or water or whatever, and you cook it. It's easy, right? But that's because my mom didn't like to cook. So make your own traditions and host. Chopped up onions, either you're food sensitive or you're not. That's pretty easy to take it off or put on a burger, right? Yep. So then the other thing that we can do is, if you're like, yeah, I just can't host at, we have an apartment, it's too small, we have too much family, whatever. Okay. A really easy thing to do is eat before you go to the event. That is such a big hack. And why would that swing the advantage in your favor, Dr. Justin, if you ate before you went to X, Y, and Z event?
Because it's just the same thing as you going to the grocery store when you're hungry. You come home and it's like, my wife would be like, "What the hell did you buy?" So I don't know. I was hungry, man. Everything looked good. Yep. But if you eat before you go, then you can just kind of sit and maybe have some of the vegetables or have some of like the dips and stuff, and you don't have to eat stuff because you're full. Eat a good, healthy meal before you go. Drink water, right? Stay hydrated, stay full. You'll have the energy. You can still go and have a good time. It's not that you just have to sit there and just say no and be so freaking rude. No, my doctor said I can't eat this stuff and I'm trying to get healthy. Well, you sound like you're not doing very well. It's okay to just like say no and say no. I think that's one thing that people have an issue with too. It's like, well, I don't want to offend somebody. Well, do you think that they care or it's like really at the end of the day, nobody's gonna care that you said no when I got 50 other people that are eating the food, as long as everybody's having a good time. Eat before you go is the absolute biggest thing. And this is not just before Thanksgiving or like, this is like, because Christmas parties are going to come and work parties are going to come and Halloween's another thing too. And what do people say, what do you do? Your kid, does he get all the candy and stuff? Well, no, we'll take candies or like healthy treats with us and we'll swap things out. What we like to do is we like to take all the Halloween candy the next day and we like to do like experiments. So hopefully somebody gave us some Mentos, right? So we'll throw them in Coke and see if it explodes up, or like we'll paint it, or we'll do some art with it, or we'll burn it in the fire, or whatever. We just have fun with it, or swap it out with different things that they can eat. You don't have to not let your children have fun. Let them enjoy it, right?
Yeah, we have the Switch Witch out here. Are y'all familiar with that? Switch Witch? Okay, so what we do is we buy one big toy for our niece, one big toy for our nephew, and they can keep the candy, or they can put the candy like under their bed or whatever, and the Switch Witch comes at night and takes their candy and gives them a present.
Nice.
Is what we like to do. So that's a way to do it. And the reality is, if they're like, "Oh, we're gonna keep the candy," throw 90% of it away while they're sleeping. They're not going to remember how much candy they had anyway. So It's just a way of helping them make the right choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That stuff is awesome. Switch Witch. She might be coming to our house this year. I'd never heard about her. So
yeah, she's a fair deal. I'll tell you what. Like Tooth Fairy 2.0.
That's awesome. But guys, go ahead and if you have questions, make sure you post them in there. But again, the holidays are coming up. Are you prepared? Are you ready? Are you ready to stand firm? You've worked hard for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years. Are you going to give and throw everything away and all your hard work for these next 2 months of holidays and eating bad? Or are you going to stand firm?
Yeah. And I don't know if I'm saying this right, but Cholati, what a great idea. I bring my own healthy meal. So then the way everything's healthy for me to eat. And it's just like, you're not being rude. You have food on your plate. That's awesome. I mean, that's called preparing, being prepared and making sure that you're making right decisions. Because, yeah, if you don't do that, you're at the mercy of whatever your mom or grandma or dad or whomever is cooking. It can get real dicey. So that's awesome. Definitely, I would do that if I weren't hosting every single holiday from here until the day the good Lord takes me home. So,
Yep. And we still got a baby, so we got our diaper bag. Our diaper bag is full of diapers and then just treats. We have snacks, we have stuff for the kids. And the reality is there's always some healthier, decent options no matter where you go. It's just
now more than ever, right? I mean, it's so much easier now than it was 20 years ago. I mean, if you remember when we were going to seminars and we were in grad school and dead broke, It was like, should I just not eat for 2 days? And the answer is yes, just don't
Probably.
eat. Right.
Yeah, but it is, and it's just preparation. So those saying of like failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Be prepared, be ready, eat before you go. Mindset is so important. Anchor to the big why, and remember again, the why cannot be about you. It can't be that I just want to feel better. It can't be that I want to lose weight. It can't be I. It has to be about other people. Again, my kids, my family, my wife. Those are what are important to me. That's the reason why. And any time that something is in front of me, it's easy to say no if your why is big enough. It's easy to get your butt up and exercise when you know that your kids are watching you and they're going to see that dad said yes or dad said no. Dad was lazy and hit snooze or dad got up. Be the example. Be the example. Be the example.
Yeah, and I'll leave you guys with this. So there is less margin for error this holiday season probably than ever before in modern history, right? So with a weakened immune system, viruses and bacteria can wreak havoc on your body. That's why there's always a flu season this time of year. It's not a flu season, it's a sugar season, right? Mm-hmm. So when you eat a bunch of sugar and crap you shouldn't be putting in your body, it lowers your immunity. And when you have a lower immunity, that's when opportunistic viruses, opportunistic bacteria can get into your body. And guess what? I mean, the last thing we need is more upticks and things testing positive and things shutting down and all these different things, right? So that's the other part of this thing. Keeping your immune system strong is going to be your best defense this time of year. So don't screw around, be focused, and be resolute in your convictions.
Yeah, being proactive, being preventative, super important. I was going to throw in one thing. Albizia is a really great whoops herb. Albizia and charcoal are great. Like I'm going to have my fat kid holidays. I need to calm down that immune response. I'm going to have an alcoholic beverage or some cake or some things. Those things can definitely help to kind of, now I always have to say this with like an asterisk or something. It's like, I didn't say just take Albizia and charcoal and then you can eat whatever the hell you want all the times and ever and be totally fine. You still got to make good decisions. But those are great herbs and things to take during the holiday seasons when you're going to parties. Just a little 2 cents. I don't know.
Let me add a third one. Stomach acid.
Why?
Stomach acid right before you eat something that you probably shouldn't is going to be a good tertiary because you're burning through the yuck. You're reducing your immune response with the Albizia, and then the charcoal is going to bind whatever stuff is left over. So those would be my 3, but a better solution than those 3 is just say no.
Just say no.
Yeah.
Just say no. Yeah, that's it. Stomach acid is super important. And remember, the reasons why you have lower stomach acid in the first place is, do you have GI issues, antibiotics? Hell, this is one thing that we'll say, and I don't like to use age as an issue, but like the reality is as you get older, you produce less stomach acid. Stomach acid is so important for digestion, for absorbing, for breaking down. So you take stomach acid to help to break things down. It makes all the difference in the world, especially if you have digestive issues, and especially if you have acid reflux type symptoms. Stomach acid is very important. Stomach acid is important.
Yeah, acid reflux is dangerous. What's that?
Did I say stress? Stress too.
Stress. Yeah, and then on top of that, then we're moving into the most stressful time of the year, right?
Yes.
So perfect storm stuff. But yeah, I mean, look, the whole acid reflux thing, and talk for another day, but I mean, really that's what gets people all into trouble because the conventional treatment for acid reflux is pushing you further into a state of disease, not into a state of health. So just be careful with that. Your body's not stupid. It's not producing too much stomach acid. It's not producing enough. And why? It's the environment that you put it in. So let's change the environment. Let's give your body support. Let's get you healing. That's
right. Love it. As we're finishing up, guys, go ahead and post down what your holiday plans are. What are you doing? What are you guys doing? You know, we're actually going to be, and we'll come live. I don't know if Dr. Seth is going to say yes, but he's going to now.
Yeah, we'll be live from Mexico. Are we going to Mexico?
We're going to go to Mexico, so we'll come live from you. We'll sit in our sit on the beach and just say what's up and check in with you guys and kind of show with you and maybe even share with you a little bit about like us and what we're doing and how we vacation. Because you think just because you're on vacation, it's the same thing we talked about today. It's not that we're going on vacation and it's all controlled.
Yeah.
Like we get to buy what we're going to eat. We get to we cook what we eat. We're not just eating out and getting fast food and just getting what's around. Like our health doesn't take vacations. Our health doesn't take a break. And so neither do we. Now, will we have a little bit of a fat kid holiday here and there? I say maybe to a degree, because we're still going to be able to cook all the stuff and bake all the stuff the way we want it to.
Yep.
That's called control. And that's called, not setting yourself up for failure. So
no, what's funny too is, your wife and my wife are big time planners, and we're in this text feed and we're like, hey, where are we going? You want to go here? You want to go there? And I'm like, well, just tell me where to go and when, and I'll show up. And it's like, well, how come you don't put any input? I'm like, well, my wife's going to make the decision anyways. And I'm not worried about whatever. Like, we'll just show up and we'll make it happen wherever. And like, that kind of has to be your mindset. Otherwise, what's the point of going on vacation if you're like, oh, and did we bring this? And what about that? Like, you're not on vacation. You're not present. You're not in the moment. Right. So you tell me when to be there. I'm going to be there. Dr. Justin, apparently it's Mexico. Are those plans set in stone?
It is set. We are good to go.
Okay. So that's Mexico. Great. We'll see you then.
We will see you guys then. Now, obviously, we'll see you before then as well. But let us know what your holiday plans are. Let us know what we can do to help and serve you. As always, thank you for watching. Like this, share this, and we will see you all next week.
Be blessed, guys.